Hello guys, in previous session we have already seen how we can create the methods and how we can run those methods using text and the XML file, and there we have seen how we can avoid writing the data provider in data provider name and data provider class in each and every method. And post that we have also discussed about a listener class, how we can create the listener class and all, and the reports we have discussed how we are going to create a report manager, extend report manager and extend report class where we are configuring that reporter in that Spark reporter. So that reporter, how we are configuring that reporter with a dark theme and giving the reporter name and setting the document titles, and also attaching the attaching it to the extent reports. The whatever the configuration we have done for the extent Spark reporter, that we are attaching in the extent reporters instant, and then we are creating the extent report by create test extent reports dot create test, and that initialization we are doing in the that we are setting inside the extent manager class by using set extent test. And after that, once the execution is done, we are doing the unload, that is by using extent reports dot flush. So these are all the things we have discussed in our previous lecture. So basically what happened, if we have already data provider, so with this data provider class, so we are just fetching the each and every Excel data, all those things we are doing, and we are initializing this list of maps, so that we are doing inside the Excel utils and get Excel utils. So there we have seen how we can do the fetching of, first we are initializing the workbook, and then inside that we are just doing the get sheet. So by sheet name we are providing here, and also like last row num, last cell num we are fetching, and after that we are iterating through the each and last row, and till last row, and till last cell we are doing the iteration. And post that, once the all the key and value where we are storing inside a map, that we are adding inside our list. So like that we are fetching all the data inside the Excel. So those all the things we are fetching it. So basically what will happen here, it will fetch the data and it will start running one by one without setting any priority. So basically if you remember, so we are setting the priority here. So if you don't want to set the priority is equal to 1 or 0, so those all the things we are setting a priority here. So if you don't want to do it in each and every method level, so in order to make it most like readable, so we are maintaining all those priority and counts, like how many times it should get executed and all. So those all the data we are maintaining it inside the Excel sheet itself, inside a run manager. So for this we can write a code, so that basically happen in all the test level. So whenever we are executing the test, so basically while fetching only, that method interception will be there, so that will get set the priority of that method, and also count how many times it should get executed, and description. So those all the things will happen inside the method interceptors. So that we can do by creating one class here. So we'll create one listener class with the name of method interceptor. So we can create, and this will implements that I test I method interceptor. So this basically we need to implement the method called as intercept. So this is a method which will be doing the method level, like that, setting the description, setting the priority, setting the count, all those things happen inside this method only. So we will create one method before that, like list of map string comma string, and we need to import this row manager. Okay, suppose that we will we'll initialize that. Basically if row manager is equal to null, then we can do we will basically initialize this from the Excel utils dot get Excel data framework constants dot get row manager sheet dot get row manager sheet, and that we need to surround with try and catch. So no need to write this also, I guess it's fine, like if you are catch like writing inside the if loop, and post that we can do the list of method instance result this we will do, and close that. For IMethodInterceptor methods method instance, close that. For, so here we can write this row manager, if yes dot equals signal case and row dot get execute, and once this is done, then we can basically we will check if it is execute is yes and test case name is matching with the method name. Then we will write inside the method dot get method dot set description row dot get test description. So this basically we need to copy it from this test description, and then method dot get method dot set priority integer dot parse int. So basically it will get in a string format, and then we need to pass it to integer. That we can do row dot get priority. Okay, method dot get method dot set invocation count. So this also integer dot parse int, and then row dot get of count. So this we can do, and then we need to do the, so basically this will be new array list result dot add of method. So once this is done, so if you want you can remove this also, this is not needed basically, and post that we need to return the result. So by this way we can basically set the method in interceptor. So once we'll set this one, so if you want to basically priority will not work here. So if you want to work that priority, then you need to result dot stream of m1 comma m1 comma m2. This you need to compare integer dot compare x1 comma integer x1 and x2, that we need to write. So m1 dot get method dot string sort we need to do, and m1 dot get priority m1 m2 dot get method will basically comma dot get priority. So this is how it will work. suppose that like so we can see that as well, like without sorting and how it will work, and with sorting how it will work. First I will run without adding this method interceptor here inside the XML. So if I run this one now, so these are the methods which it has, and if I show from this class, so perform login, perform login 2, and perform login 3. So these are the three classes are there. So it is executing first method. So how the execution will be performed? So you are able to see, I guess, like perform login flow is working as first, perform login flow 2 it will be executing second, perform login 3 will be executing third. But even though we have mentioned the priority for this perform login flow as 3 and perform login 2 as 1 and then 1, so basically the order of execution should be this perform login flow will execute third. So first it will execute the any one of this flow 2 or flow 3. So we can give the priority for this third one as second. So in order to specifically like differentiate that, so I will add the method here, and also I will do the count as this time it has executed one time, so I will make it as 2 for this count. Okay, and this one will be 1. Now if I execute without adding, I have executed, and I need to add one more method, one more listener class, which is method interceptor. So this class I have added, and if I execute now, so priority will not be maintained as we have commented out that method there. So what is the error? Basically here the name of that row column is different. So here you can see the test case. Oh yes, this is test name. Yeah. So this is causing the execution error. Now if we can check based on the priority and based on the count, so this perform login flow should execute first, and it should execute twice, and then perform login 3 and then perform login flow. So based on that priority, like perform login 2 executed twice, and this is the first method which get executed, and then second one is perform login 3. Finally last the perform login flow will get executed. So this is how the method IMethod instance or my method interceptor will work. So basically it will set the priority, description, and invocation count. Invocation count is basically for how many times it should get executed, and priority it will set in each and every method. So based on the Excel data whatever we are fetching, that we are setting as a priority here, and set description is basically the test description what we have mentioned here. So these are the three things which it will get executed like set at the runtime, and based on the priority and count and all it will get executed. So this is about the IMethod interceptor. And also like we have, like I just told you, like how many times it should get executed, it is based on a count which we are mentioning inside the Excel sheet. But if the test case is failing, and how many times I need to run the method, so that we can do basically with the retry analyzer. Retry failed test. So this class is basically helpful when the test is failing and I want to retry, that means re-execute the test method again. For that we are implementing IRetryAnalyzer, so which basically contain the method retry. So here basically we need to have one variable called as int count. So first it will be 0 and int max count. Three or two, like 2 I will just for quick execution. And if count is less than max count, then return true, means it will execute. If not, then it will be false. So this one basically we need to add in each and every method, right? So we will add inside the our annotation transformer, which will set the annotation wherever we are having the tag called as @test. So there it will set this analyzer, and the class name is retry test field dot class. So by this way we are setting the retry field for all the classes. If it is failing, that time it will retry. So we will see by manually failing that class. I will go to the login test and I will fail this first method and I will run it. This is for the which is perform login flow, and it will fail, again it will rerun. So totally this time 5 runs will be there. Not 5, like we have run it twice, right? So 6 basically. It's running into okay. Let me check. Basically there is, we have missed one condition, I guess. So we have not increased the count here. So this is the mistake we have done. So because of that, it is getting executed infinite time. Count is equal to, okay. So after returning it should not come. So before that only we need to write. So if now I will execute. So before that, like I'll just in order to save the time, like I'll just comment out these things, or we can just remove the tag here. Let us see now. So it, my bad, not for this. Okay, if I am running the first method which has a false, we are failing it intentionally, so it should get executed twice basically. One time it got executed and the count is got increased. Second time it is again getting executed 0 1. So third time it got failed. So if we can see that retry analyzer, retry failed test. So basically, like first it will check 0, and then if it is failing, second time it will check, third time it will come, but the max count is already reached 0 1. For 0 it will execute, plus 1 1 it will do. Second time it will come 1 it will be, and then for 2 it will not execute. This is what the third time it didn't got executed, only 2 times it got executed. So first it will skip, and then it will get executed, and it will throw the error at the end. This is what for the today's session, guys. And for next session, like we will see how we can create the feature file, and how we can use the same framework, existing framework, to write a test cases or test script in a Cucumber BDD format. There we'll see the how the hooks class are get created, and how the base class get created for that. And there we are using only two type of setup, and like how we are using this in the our, like in a base class we are adding the before method and after method. There we have only before and after, and that will be having the scenarios inside that. If the scenario is failing, then what should be the if we need to capture the screenshot as well. So those all the things we are doing inside the after method only. So that we will discuss in our upcoming lecture. So till then, see you guys, and keep learning.